Hi, welcome to Reawakening Beauty. I'm your host, Shawna Patruno. I'm so excited to have you here. I love talking about all things skin-related, beauty-related, and mind-related. Here I empower you, mind, body, skin, and soul. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Reawakening Beauty. So we have a very special guest here. It's Rebecca. How do you say your last name again?
Guerrillo, yeah.
So actually, I met Rebecca when I was in Montreal. I was going for a self-care trip right before my engagement. And what I really liked about Rebecca is she loves skincare just like I do. I went into the Dermalogica spa. Which spa do you work at in Montreal?
We have two locations for Dermalogica, so I currently work at the Old Port location.
Yeah. So I walked in and I had gotten my nails done and I started talking with Rebecca to see if she'd be a good fit for the podcast. And she was. I'm so excited to have her here today. We're going to be talking about some beauty myths. There is tons about firming, pore size, all of those things. Here at Reawakening Beauty, we love to bust myths. So I thought Rebecca would be the perfect person for this. Rebecca, before we get started, is there anything you wanted to let our guests know about your background before we get into kind of how to have a glow up?
So for starters, I worked as a skin therapist for Dermalogica and as a facialist for Way, which is more of a massage board type of place, more kind of relaxing and pollinated vibe. I've been in this industry for about 8 years now and aspired to make others embrace their natural beauty from within. I started out in this industry probably with my own skin. Like I had quite severe acne growing up. I remember that taking a shot in my confidence. And ever since then, I want to inflict that confidence into other people. I want people to love themselves and embrace their natural beauty.
I can tell you, after I met Rebecca, you definitely did that because I was talking to you about some concerns that I have with my skin, and she definitely did that. So I would highly recommend going to see Rebecca. She's a wealth of knowledge. So before we get started, we'll get into it. I asked Rebecca some questions that she might want to have for our audience, so things that help you. So a lot of people are interested, even more so now, I think, are in firming. Like even young people are really interested in firming. So I wanted to ask you today, Rebecca, what are some ideal lifting and firming treatments and what should you not do? Because I know I did something I should have not done.
Honestly, when it comes to firming and lifting, I do personally think that any sort of microneedling treatment can really help with that. Only because what microneedling actually does, the whole concept behind it, is that it creates little micro injuries into the skin to help rebuild collagen and elastin.
Yeah.
This isn't the ideal treatment for everybody. It can be quite scary and daunting to do. I suggest going in for a customized facial and adding in some like lymphatic drainage, any sculpting massage to help improve blood flow, circulation. It can also help reduce fine lines and wrinkles.
I absolutely love that. So it's called collagen induction therapy.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've done it actually, and I did see some massive things. Are you able to do it under your eyes? Because I know a lot of people are wanting to induce collagen. And if someone starts stepping close to a microneedling pen, should you walk away if they're going near your eyes?
Yes, only because when it comes to under the eye, really sensitive area to begin with. We can't go too close to the eye because that could cause subcutaneous scarring, major traumas to that area.
What would you say for the eye area that would be something for collagen and firming and lifting? Because I know a lot of people start to notice their eyes start to droop or anything as we age because gravity is pulling us down. What would you say to people?
Honestly, when it comes to that area, I'm a firm believer of lymphatic drainage and massaging, really going in upwards movements to help sculpt that area. I wouldn't do anything advanced under the eyes because that could come with a lot of risk and adverse side effects. If you really want to play it safe, I would suggest giving yourself a good fMRI eye massage.
Okay, perfect. I love that. For our audience today, I apologize if the quality of the audio is a little bit off, but the information is going to be amazing. So just bear with us. What do you think about the information that is on the internet that you're seeing on YouTube, TikTok? There's a lot of information. I know how I feel about it. I think there's a lot of misinformation, a lot of confusing information, a lot of information like retinols for everyone. What would you say?
This one's tricky because there is a lot of information out there on social media, and there's so many different types of people that are giving that information. I think if you are going to listen to anything on social media, listen to the experts, the people who are actually licensed estheticians, licensed medical estheticians, and skin therapists. Then you know that the information they're giving you is credible and you know it works. This is no hate to any of the social media influencers, but overall, I would just look.
That definitely makes sense. And how do you know if someone is licensed? Like, how do you find somebody credited for that?
I mean, they're just everywhere on social media, to be honest. Yeah, they're just everywhere. They'll usually say if they're licensed. I definitely stumbled upon some videos with some social media estheticians who have been, hey, I've been doing this for 8 years, I've been doing this for 7 years, and so on.
So, what do you feel is something that you would like to talk about today, given your experience with wanting to make people feel more beautiful? What would you say to our listeners, someone who's struggling with their skin, maybe someone who is not feeling very good in their skin, doesn't know where to start? What is something you'd like to say to a former version of yourself or one of our listeners today?
Like, say if you're still starting out in skincare or treatment, go very slow, go very minimal to start with. There's a lot of information out there, whether it's misinformation or whether it's credible, but we don't know that. My advice to any first timers, if you are going to jump into treatment, start with a regular customized treatment until you're comfortable enough to go the more advanced route. In terms of product, if you're someone that wants to get into routine, go slow and minimal. All you really need to start out with is a cleanser, a moisturizer, and a good SPF. And then once we feel like we're getting used to all of that, we can start gradually adding in new things. We can start adding the serum exfoliants and so on.
I love that. And a good double cleanser.
And exactly.
The cleansing for me is like a two-stepper. I'm like, get that makeup off, get that, all of that stuff. The cleanse is such a huge part.
It's such a good way to remove any dirt, bacteria, debris throughout the day as well. Also, when it comes to like a double cleanse, using an oil cleanser before your like water-based cleanser to help replenish your hydration. At least in my opinion, that's what it's done for me.
I definitely agree. Some of my clients and people that I've helped in the past, they had really bad acne. And when they started using an oil-based cleanser, really removing their makeup, their skin started to breathe a little bit better. I feel like so many people are overcomplicating their skin. They're using so many different products. My biggest pet peeve is when they don't know they've got natural acids like a salicylic, like a retinol. They're using counterindications. Like that stresses me out. I'm like, girl, just one natural acid to start with. I don't think people realize when they get on the internet and hear someone talking about retinol, salicylic, AHA, BHA, it gets very overwhelming.
Of course, definitely. Sometimes I have certain clients that like are using so many things at once, like 3 different serums, 2 different exfoliants, and 2 different moisturizers. It's not necessary for your skin. Less is more, babe. Like, you don't need all of that. Once you're overdoing it with your skincare, that's actually making it worse. And you may not notice those side effects right away, but you will definitely notice those side effects in the long run.
And I think that's something else that kind of goes into the next question I had for you. But the barrier of the skin. I feel like people are messing up the barrier of their skin. All these actives, like I've had some of my clients, I'm like, get off so many vitamin C, glycolic, retinol. I'm like, wrong. What are you doing?
Your barrier is compromised. When it comes to a compromised skin barrier, that's when you really want to take things simpler. Overall, don't exfoliate when you have a compromised barrier. That is arguably making it worse. Even if it's the gentlest exfoliant you have, don't do it. We really want to focus on repairing that barrier by using hydrating, nourishing ingredients like vitamin E, ceramide, both as well are a really good barrier repairing ingredient. We really need to focus on hydration.
Yeah. I love arnica. Arnica, aloe, those ones are really calming. But I feel like so many people have gotten into like using these really big actives, and I'm just like, oh, it actually good and good, especially in the winter time, which kind of brings me to what we were talking about. But I think this could be seasonal. As the weather kind of changes, I know how I feel about it. But what would you say getting into the colder seasons versus the hotter seasons? What would you say when someone's stepping into a change of season? What should they do for their skin?
Definitely focus on hydration and nourishment. We have this misconception when it comes to drier skin that we need to exfoliate it off. When that's not the case, when it comes to the colder season, you want to focus less on exfoliation. If you're someone that is exfoliating 3 to 4 times a week, cut that down to maybe once or twice a week and focus on your barrier, water retention, bringing natural oils back into your skin. So again, adding things like hyaluronic acid, oat, ceramide, creaming, even lactic acid. If you are going to get into exfoliation, lactic acid, by far one of the best things to be adding in. It's derived from sugarcane, and overall, it's going to help with texture and it's going to help with even bringing hydration back into your skin, I would include some sheet masks as well. I have been loving sheet masks for the winter time. I literally just leave them on until they get all dried up because that's when I know everything's going to the skin.
Okay.
If we're talking outside of skincare, I would probably invest in a humidifier. I think
Really?
that's the biggest thing, especially if you're already living in such a dry type of space. Having a humidifier in your space is also just going to bring that moisture back into your place, but back into your skin as well.
I love that. So those are some really great tips that you guys can implement today. What would you say? I know it's not the hotter season, but maybe someone's listening during the hotter season. What would you say to do during the hotter seasons?
And when it comes to the hotter season, that's when I would start incorporating maybe, I would exfoliate a little bit more.
Detox masks.
Yes, that's when you're going to bring out the clay mask, the detoxifying ingredients, all of that stuff. Sunscreen's going to be your best friend in the summer. Overall, even in winter, you should always be applying sunscreen every single day, whether it's hot or cold.
Yeah.
Please wear sunscreen. I cannot stress how important that is to be implementing into your routine. Even in the summer, keep it minimal because we're going to be experiencing a lot of oil production in our skin. So overall, you want to be using, like let's say in the winter, you're using a cleaner cleanser. Summer, you're going to go ahead and switch out to a gel cleanser to help balance out your oil production.
Makes sense.
And then you can need more actives in the summer as well. However, if you are going to be doing this, wear your sunscreen, most importantly.
Okay, that's perfect. Now, one question going back into the colder season, what treatments are better to do in the wintertime versus the summertime? I think like doing more chemical peels are better in the wintertime because the sun's not out, right?
Yeah.
But is there anything else you would say, like get those treatments in now so you're prepped and nice for the summertime?
When it comes to winter time, that's when you want to go into the more advanced treatments to really help increase skin cell turnover, really help with any sort of hyperpigmentation on the skin. Overall, it's going to prep you for your summer skin. Wintertime is for advanced treatments. Summertime, maybe more for customized facial.
So we covered what's the ideal lifting treatment, social media, collagen supplements. What is your take on that? There's a lot of people talking about collagen. There's different qualities of collagen, how much absorption of collagen, vegan collagen. What do you feel, my girl?
I've had this question so many times. To really break it down, when it comes to collagen, the molecule itself is too big to penetrate into the skin. So if you're using collagen cream or serum, it's literally just sitting on the top of your skin. It is not doing what it's supposed to be doing.
Okay.
However, if you are taking collagen supplements or powders or vitamins, I would personally go for hydrolyzed collagen. It can also be known as peptide or hydrolysate because it's made up of amino acids, which are the building blocks of protein. It has that capability to absorb into the bloodstream very easily. And if you don't want to take that supplement, it's also just going into the natural route, like consuming foods that are rich in vitamin C. So anything citrus or leafy greens or tomatoes, eating foods that are rich in amino acids. So you got your chicken, beef, fish, and eggs. Quit smoking, caffeine. That is the number one trigger for premature aging. But my favorite one is drinking bone broth every morning because it's so rich in amino acids. It's got those vitamins and natural supplements.
That's such great advice. I really like to talk a lot about vitamin C and how it builds collagen and elastin in the skin. I feel like everybody is just like collagen, 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 and then they don't know that there's different versions of collagen. And also where is that being derived from? Like making sure it's sourced properly. If someone is more vegan, I am. So I'm more plant-based. That's where I do more of my vitamin C. I have different supplements like sea buckthorn that I take, all of those great things. Is there any supplements that you would say that are good for building collagen in vegans? Like I have some that I take, but interested what you would say.
Oh, that's a good question. If I'm being honest, I haven't dipped in too much into the vegan side of things. I am fully aware of the natural route when it comes to taking in collagen. The main thing I would do, for me personally, I like to have like hot water with lemon in it to help with collagen production, getting my antioxidants in. Overall, I would just stick to the natural route, to be very honest with you. Definitely stay hydrated, drink your water. I know sometimes I am guilty of not getting in my water intake, and I'm really trying so hard to get that in.
I have a hard time drinking enough water. I'm guilty of drinking too many natural energy drinks and coffee. Thank God it has some good stuff in it.
I've also completely switched over to matcha. As much as I really love coffee once upon a time, I feel like once you know how to make matcha right, it's absolutely amazing.
It definitely is, and it's got a calming effect to it.
Well, that's it. I don't feel those jitters. Sometimes I feel with coffee, I get this little anxious, kind of heart racing feeling. I feel like matcha just helps level that. If anything, it just gives me a natural boost of caffeine.
Okay, so we covered quite a few topics. I wanted to ask you about pore size. I think there's a lot of myths about pore size, like the open and close. What kind of skin type do you have? Look at your pore size. I know when you age, they start to get larger due to collagen and elastin being lost. What would you say to somebody who's concerned with pore size?
Physically cannot shrink them. You can reduce them, the look of them, you can reduce the appearance of them, but the main thing to help pore size is through exfoliation. I find the best way to reduce the size is chemical peels, because what chemical peels do is a blend of enzymes, acids, vitamins to overall increase skin cell turnover and really deeply exfoliate the skin, which
Yeah.
can help reduce the pore size.
Some of the treatments where I've saw a little bit of like an improvement in the appearance, again, that you can't really change that. I think it's the laser genesis. That kind of helps smooth out my pores a little bit. That one was really good that I saw. And then doing treatments where you're using, I think it's like a glycolic or something like that. I saw a little bit of it refining that, salicylic, all of those things. A little trick I like to use is a detox mask. I'll do a good clay mask, then I'll do something with enzymes to eat away the dead skin
Yes.
sitting so heavily on there, and then boosting my hydration. So when your skin is hydrated, everything just looks better.
Yeah.
So that's like my cheat sheet. Do you have a routine that you like to do or for your clients that you like to do? That's what I like to do.
Honestly, I do the exact same thing that you do, especially with my clients with a bigger pore size. That is to the T what I do. However, when it comes to the clay mask, I really only put it where the pores are larger. I'm not gonna put it all over the face because those can be super drying.
Yes.
And strip those natural oils. I focus it mainly on the T-zone for a lot of my clients. Then we can go in with a little bit of extraction to help get all that gunk out. And then we're focusing mainly on hydration afterwards.
I feel like that hydration, people underestimate it. Like I have a lot of people that I've helped take off actives, and I'm like, just use your hydration. Watch your pores will appear smaller. And they're like, no, they won't. I'm like, trust me, girl. I it will work. And it always just looks like amazing. So
Exactly.
that plumping is amazing. Did we miss anything, Rebecca, that you think would be good for a listener who's trying to do a little glow up, start a new routine into the new year? I know a lot of people are listening, trying to do their best things for the new.
Mhm. I think we pretty much covered everything. Overall, I would really get into the facials. You're
Yeah.
someone that hasn't done a facial yet. You're missing out, honestly.
They're amazing. Yes. So if you guys would like to follow Rebecca, I'll put all her information into the show notes. Go check her out. She's amazing. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me as well at Reawakening Beauty. What's your handle, Rebecca, that they can find you at?
My Instagram is skinbybecca.b, and that's the only platform I have currently.
Perfect. Thank you so much for listening to Reawakening Beauty, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Thank you. Thank you so much for listening to the latest episode of Reawakening Beauty. Subscribe to the podcast to hear more inspirational stories and tips related to all things mind, beauty, skin, and soul. I also encourage you to check out the show notes for additional information about my guest, the topics discussed during the episode, and of course, more information about me, your host, Shawna Patruno. If you want to be a guest on the show or just want to reach out and say hi, you can reach me on Instagram, LinkedIn, or email. All these details can be found in my show notes. Thank you so much for listening and have an amazing day.